Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Podcasting Master. I'm Chelsea, and I'm here with Wade as always. And we are back with our part 2 of our Disney 100 celebration. We covered a couple different categories, so we're back at it again, doing our top 5s of 5 more categories.
Yeah. If you didn't catch part 1, we covered Pixar movies, Disney Channel shows, sidekicks, soundtracks, video games, and live-action movies.
Yes.
So if you're like, I want to hear them talk about that, go listen to part 1, then come back and we'll finish up with our final 5 categories.
Yes. So we're going to start right off the bat with kind of stepping away from the movies and stuff and characters in a bit. We're going to do Disney World rides and attractions. So we're strictly speaking just about Walt Disney World, as in Orlando, Florida parks, the 4 parks there, Animal Kingdom, Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, and Epcot.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I think this was probably kind of hard. I think we briefly talked about this was difficult. I think there's a lot of good stuff to offer there.
There's a lot of good stuff, and it's just one of those things where, like, you talk about this thing and you have to leave this thing off, and this could have been a top, 20 list, honestly.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But we're going to give it a shot.
Yeah.
Are we ready for my number 5?
I think so. And just briefly mentioning, too, we're only solely focusing on Disney World because that's the place where both of us have been.
In Orlando, Florida.
Yeah, so we want to talk about rides that we've actually experienced instead of just, all over. So, yes, I think let's do it. Kick us off.
Okay, my number 5 might be kind of weird, but it's the People Mover.
Oh, okay, that is a classic.
Being out in the Florida sun, and then you're riding all the fun stuff, you've eaten all the food, and it's 1 to 2 to 3 p.m., and you get that middle of the day, just like, I just need to sit down. Get yourself up there on the People Mover, and you just have yourself a nice little trip around Disney World, up top, feeling the wind on you. It's just so relaxing. There's nothing to this ride. It's literally just like it's just like a mine cart kind of that is just raised up, way up off the ground. It just kind of carries you around, and it kind of gives you a tour of Disney World in a way. It talks about the attractions that you pass, the parts of the park, some of the history. It takes you through some parts.
Behind the scenes almost, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. But also, you can just sit there and you can close your eyes, lean back, and just enjoy the air. It's a good time.
No, for real. I mean, Disney's great for that. You have those ones that are the more okay, it's hot out, let me go in here and chill for a bit. And some of them are totally worth your while. That is a great one. My number 5 is an indoor ride. This ride is purely on here for nostalgia factor with my family. Mm-hmm. This has become a tradition for us that when we go to Animal Kingdom, our must ride is Dinosaur. This ridiculous ride that is based off of the movie Dinosaur, the one that's the early animated one.
Yeah.
With that crazy CG and stuff.
I didn't actually get to ride that one. It was down or something. I don't remember.
That's possible.
But I didn't get to ride it.
Yeah. And it's kind of just, it's crazy because it's a ride that almost feels out of place at Disney because it has the theming purely of, you have this quirky little pre-show and stuff that talks about you need to go back in the past in this time machine to save a dinosaur. And so you're in this crazy ride that jerks all around. It's a very jerky indoor ride that gets you really close up to different animatronics of different dinosaurs and all looking for the main character from the dinosaur movie. I can't remember his name, but that one. But it's also pushed back in the part of Animal Kingdom, which is really sad because I don't think this ride is going to last much longer because I think they're replacing a lot of the stuff surrounding it because it's weirdly almost a failed Six Flags portion back there because there used to be a little roller coaster thing. There's little prize games where you win stuffed animals carnival-esque. It's a really weird area, but that was always the highlight in that area. And it was also a ride that I've grown up with, so seeing the certain dinosaurs and stuff were a little bit frightening early on. There's a part where it does take your picture on the ride during a frightening scene, so it's everybody laughs at you when you get off and you're horrified by it. But then it just became more of a joke with my family of just trying to really pose dramatically for the photo when we got to that part because we just loved it. But it's just nice. It's a crazy fast action ride. It's purely just a fun ride with my family. I love to do.
That's a good one. That's a good reason to have that up there though.
Yeah.
Because you've been more than me, you'll have a lot of those memories attached, right? We'll see what number 4 is. Okay, my number 4 was the light cycle. The Tron Light Cycle.
I have not gotten a chance to ride it. That was not open the last time I was there. So I'm really curious
I
to hear about it.
we signed up on the virtual queue.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, we're gonna do it. And like all day, anytime we would pass Tomorrowland, I'd see it. And I just like, I look at this and I'm like, it's a roller coaster. It's like, oh, it's one of those. I hate roller coasters. And then we get there and we're standing in line and we're going through the process. And we get to a part like we are like on top. And so when you get to the section like where you get on the bike and it like kind of locks you in place, well they push you up like way up to like the start of the ride, where in this little tunnel where you get these cool effects and stuff and lights where they shoot you out like where it actually starts, right? Yeah. Well, the line is stationed above that area where you can watch people get kicked, like get pushed out. So, like, my heart was going 100 miles a minute just watching these people. Like, you kind of see, like, the first thing that they do. And I'm just like, there's no way. Like, one and done. I get through it and I'll be fine. Turns out, it's not really a roller coaster. You're not upside down. There's not really any drop. Like, not any, like, strict drops, you know?
Okay.
But it was, it was worth the wait.
Okay.
It's really short though. Like it's really fast and it's really short. But God, I love Tron. I've been enamored by Tron since I was such a little kid. And getting to do the light cycle and being on like the new cooler like versions of the light cycle motorcycle, right? Being on the cool ones. And like you're like really like stretched out across it. Okay. Like they really got you the way you're supposed to, but these things come and they like clamp down on your legs to make, you know, and like your lower, like down on your lower back and stuff. So like you can't go anywhere. But man, it was so much fun, and you can only ride it once a day, so it's a bummer. But I would have been back in that line if I could have. It's so fun.
Okay, that's really cool. That's really cool to hear about your experience. Yeah, I was very curious about that ride when I saw that because they were building it still when I was there last. But yeah, definitely gonna have to check that out when I go back for sure. It's just, yeah, no, Disney World's a place where, you know, how could you not resist going back again? Especially being a Disney fan. Like, it's just so magical, and there's always new things being added for sure. Yeah. I've been to Disney World, like I said, a lot, like we mentioned, but there are definitely a couple rides that I've never ridden before, so I'll be curious if they somehow make your list, because there's reasons why I haven't ridden them, because I might be a little frightened by them, but...
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was really expecting that one to be an absolutely never again ride, but like you only get to do it once, and I had missed out. We missed out on the Cosmic Rewind, the Guardians of the Galaxy one. We waited all day, and like our party was gonna be called at like 8:00, and it stopped. They stopped calling parties the party before us because it broke. So they were like trying to hurry the rest of like this group of people in to it before they shut it down to fix it, and we were the next group, and they're like, well, we'll get you on it first thing in the morning, but we weren't going to be there at that park in the morning. And I was like, I was so immensely bummed about that. I was so excited about that ride. So that's my one regret. I didn't get to ride Cosmic Rewind.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I have been able to do that one, but that is one of those things that's so disappointing about Disney World, when you're able to get the chance to go there and you're ready to ride all those rides. And it's because they're so incredible, and like there's so many things we're gonna talk about a couple other rides that are so crazy, but like they're very likely more likely to break down than anything, and it really sucks when those happen. Because I was gonna say Dinosaur, actually that ride has broken down in my family many times while you've been on it, so I could also understand if you didn't get to ride it because it was probably shut down because it was broken down. But
it was shut down, and we were just like, oh well, okay, come back later.
But I've also seen other rides baked for various other reasons, whether kids get sick on them, have accidents, what have you. And one of those rides, actually, that has gotten shut down before, but because of other things, was my number 4 choice is It's a Small World. It's just... Oh my gosh. It's a classic ride. I love it. I actually appreciate it more and more.
We went on it. We went on it, and I was just like... At first, I was like, this is pretty cool. You love seeing all the little... Like, all the countries represented and all the little puppets and stuff, but like it's also kind of long, and like you have to listen to that song a lot. a lot.
I just associate that song so much with Disney World. It's just kind of like, it's the cheesy thing you have to do, but it's
Absolutely.
so iconic.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it also does give you a little bit of a breather, because if you've been running around the park all day or whatnot, like,
it feels great in there.
Yeah.
It's all inside. You're sitting in the water, you know, like in a little boat. No, it's great. I took pictures the entire way through that ride. I don't know why I did it. They literally took like 200 pictures.
Because how could you not? There's so many little things to notice in that. Like,
I know. But
I noticed
why
something
did
different.
I do that?
Yeah.
Why? I'm not going to go look at those pictures.
It's Disney. It gets to you. You have to take the pictures.
It's true. It's very true.
Yes.
It's a small world. Oh, gosh. We did that because there was like a 5-minute wait. And we were walking past. We're like, okay, let's go. Like,
that's
this
amazing.
Yeah, like, this is it. We got to go. We got to go in here.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so number 3, huh?
Mm-hmm.
My number 3 was the Star Wars Rise of the Resistance ride.
Mm-hmm.
The nice big new one.
Yes.
That was so cool. The last time I was there, I got to ride Smuggler's Run. The one in Millennium Falcon. Mm-hmm. That was cool, but I think they were working on Rise of the Resistance at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But now I got to ride it. And I think we rode it twice, actually. We went back like later in the day. The line dropped a little bit and we're like, okay, let's go. It was just, gosh, it's so fun. You have the mixture of like the first part. Well, one, you get the whole thing, like the line waiting process. Like once you get to a point, you're like part of the show. You're not waiting in a line. Like, because you get like
no
abducted.
Spoilers, no.
Yeah, you get abducted by the bad guys, and they're treating you not nice, and they're like putting you over here and putting you over here. But then once you get on the ride, again, it's still a show. You're trying to escape from them, and it's all like not mannequins, but like animatronics and stuff, and you're trying to escape from Kylo Ren. Yeah. But then the last half of the ride is like you get in like a 3D like little emulator thing as you're escaping from the Starship Destroyer down to the planet. Like that was like feeling that drop as they like drop you out of the station, right? Is like it was so cool.
Yes. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely fantastic.
So you got to do that one?
Yes,
Excellent.
Last time I was there, I think we did it we did 2 times, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's definitely worth it, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. But is it your number 3?
No, my number 3 is The Haunted Mansion.
The Haunted Mansion, absolutely.
Yes. This is such... It's also, it's a classic Disney ride, but it's also just like so weird when you really think about it. It's just so dark and disturbing when you notice things that are going on Disney's so great about setting the mood for you on any of these rides, like from the queue itself to like a little pre-show to get people moving, then to like, because that whole setup, like looking up and stuff, like I'm not going to give away for people who have never been on this ride. Like the whole experience of the Haunted Mansion is great, like seeing all the quirky ghosts, but also just the history involved in the making of this ride is truly incredible. The Imagineers, like, it's just, they went all out on this ride and it still holds up today. Like, they don't really do anything different
they still,
about
they add stuff, they take away, they replace. Like, there's still things to look forward to.
Yeah, but like the Haunted Mansion, like in that ride itself, I think there's like a fascinating documentary about it on Disney Plus, so you guys should check it out if you haven't already, to just hear about like the troubled process that went into creating the Haunted Mansion itself, but all the little like tricks and gimmicks, the way the ballroom scene was created, like it's just pure artistry, the tricks like of everything, the way like the heads move on the statues, like it's a crazy experience that it's one of those rides as well. Like it's a small world where you can notice something new every single time you go on the ride. It's just
there's a lot to look at as you're like taken through that process for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, number 2. Okay, I've done this one every time I've gone so far, which is like I guess 3 times. But I love it. It's so simple, and it's the Mickey's PhilharMagic show.
Yes. Absolutely.
I like a little 3D show. Like, I love it. One, to get in there and sit down in that little theater. I love it. But then like you have the show is about Donald, and like they're getting ready for Mickey's like orchestra concert. His magical music, Sorcerer Mickey's like magical orchestra concert. But Donald, he comes across the hat and he's like, well, I can do it. And it turns bad, of course, naturally. It goes through Donald, who's trying to chase the hat across like all these other Disney movies, trying to like fix the problem. But it's so cute. It's so fun. Like such a good relaxing time.
No, that one is so good. I love that show. Sadly, it did not make it on my list. It almost did, but I think I remember going on it like when it first opened, like watching the show and stuff, and how it still holds up so well today. Like the technology they use, because it's technically even a 4D show. There's some scents you can smell. There's some things you can see happening in the theater itself. But like the 3D is so crisp in that, like compared to some of the. Yeah,
you don't even realize it almost. Like,
no, it's,
you know it's there, but like you don't, it's not like out at, it's not like a huge thing.
Yeah. And it's one too where they've actually updated some of the scenes that Donald has gone through. They've added some newer movies over the years, so it was fun. Like, because I remember when it like first opened versus like I'm like, when I went recently, it was like, there's some new scenes in there. That's really fun. Just adding more to the experience. But yeah, no, it's absolutely spectacular. That is for sure. So, but I will move on to my number 2. My number 2 is a little bit similar in that it's a show, but this is an epic nighttime spectacular show. And it kind of represents a lot of the shows in general because, Disney World is such a place full of parades, fireworks, performances everywhere, as well as the rides. But you can't go wrong with Fantasmic.
I wondered if that's what you were going to say. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I waited until this trip to finally get to watch Fantasmic. Because when I would take the band kids, we'd always left Hollywood Studios like before. That was always like a half day or something we would do. And we'd always be gone before the Fantasmic show. So this time I was like, no, we're finally going to go. And I was so scared because at like 2 p.m. maybe it started raining. And it did not stop raining until the minute Fantasmic was supposed to start.
What? Wow.
We were all sitting in the gigantic amphitheater, right? And everybody's wearing their ponchos. Not Brandon and I, because Wade made poor decisions. Which is actually fine. It wasn't like storming. It wasn't like coming down,
Yeah.
But we were worried they were going to cancel it because for that show specifically, you can do like the fireworks a lot, like with some rain. But with that show, they were like, I don't know. But it stopped like right at like whatever, 7:30 or whenever it was. And I was just like in awe the whole time. I was like, this is amazing. Like, I love the Magic Kingdom fireworks because there's just nothing to compare that to. But Fantasmic was something else.
Yeah, and it's one of those shows too where there's like so much going on. They add so many different techniques from like water projection to fire to fireworks itself to like there's like a moat part that's added. Like it's just such a cool story too with like basically like Mickey's dreams turning into nightmares and also incorporating
like the Disney villains are like they're trying to stop Mickey via his dreams so that they can like whatever whatever it is. The world,
sure, whatever. I don't
whatever Disney villains do.
Yeah. But then you also have like so you have different scenes that are from the movies, different characters. But yeah, no, it's an insane experience. It's also one of those like things you stand in line for and you freak out because the line is like so far down like that boulevard. You're like, how is everybody, are we gonna make it to the show? But then like you get there and that
amphitheater is so big.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But for an incredible show. So if you have not seen that, it's like,
well, actually they're replacing it soon. Yeah. They're making a new show that's going to replace Fantasmic.
Well, after they had closed it for quite a few years and they revamped it itself. And also I think because the one in California, I think, because one of them caught fire. Like the big parts like actually got completely ruined and like caught fire. So it was down for a long time.
That
sucks.
That's,
I like when Disney likes to make some changes, but sometimes the classics are just sometimes where it's at.
I was glad I got to watch it before they changed it. Like that made me happy.
No, I'm glad you got to see that for sure. But just like, listeners, probably the dinosaur ride, if you go, it'll probably be gone too. But
I think like the Bugs Life one, I think they're going to get rid of that one too. And we did that while like it's Life of a Bug or It's Tough to Be a Bug. Or
It's Tough to Be a Bug. Mm-hmm.
We did watch that. That was fun. I enjoyed that. Like just in case they are going to get rid of it. We went ahead and waited the 5 minutes to watch that. So
Well, it's so weird about some of those things at Disney too, because I also think about like the Stitch's Great Escape. Like it's just been like closed and
yeah, and I watched that last time I was there. I did get to do that, which was quite the experience. But you know,
it's a painful experience.
It's weird,
on your body
man.
sometimes.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. Well, I always regretted because that Stitch actually replaced Alien. Like the movie's Alien had a ride there or like whatever. And so it was more of like this adult centered, like super horror thing. But
seriously.
I chickened out when that was around, like really early on when I was going to Disney.
I could see that.
Yeah. Because my mom,
That's
my
like
mom was
Universal
let's
stuff,
go.
not Disney stuff.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I never got to experience that, but that was a whole different thing. But yeah, no, Disney's always changing some things, but I do like how some of the classics are still there. So, but okay, well, shall we move on to our number one?
Number ones? Okay,
yes.
My number one was the Pandora ride.
Ooh.
In the Avatar section.
Yeah. I'm assuming the one where you're like flying.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't get a chance to ride that.
Things.
Yeah.
It was like, we went like very first thing when we got to Animal Kingdom. And we only got to ride it once. Because after that, the line was it was like, constantly like 2 hours long. But we only waited like maybe a half hour, I think. Because we went straight there.
Yeah, that's smart.
But it was just like, I don't know. You know, like at Universal, you have like the Harry Potter rides. That like that one,
like the
Hogwarts
Journey,
one. Yeah, I
castle.
think so. Where you're being like flown around in like the carriage or whatever it is. It's like that, but it's just you. You're not with other people. You're on your own thing. And it was, I don't have words to describe it. It was just amazing. Because what you can see, it's not like a flat screen. It's like
almost like 360 or like
it's not 360, but like it comes out a little bit because you're sitting side by side the other people. Like there's a lot of space between you, but you're there in the room with the other people who are also experiencing the same thing. But like it's just, you can tell there's like a depth to like what you're seeing. If you like turn your head, you can glance in other directions and stuff too. It's crazy.
That's definitely on my list to ride next time I'm there. I just wasn't able to do it. My parents were lucky enough to do it, and yeah, they said it was absolutely incredible. And so I'm really looking forward to experiencing that for sure, because I definitely think that's probably be a top tier ride. But my number one is actually one you've already mentioned. And that is, I didn't say too much about it because I think is absolutely fantastic. That is Rise of the Resistance.
Okay, great. All right.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
It is truly an epic experience that I want everybody to experience for the first time or multiple times after that. But it's just something that like you said, like you are a part of the story. There's like something from starting from the queue to so many different levels of like really immersing you. Like you don't even have to be a super big fan of Star Wars to enjoy like
not at all
the amount of stuff that went into this. And I think this is also one of the first like trackless rides, because like the trackless rides, when you think of stuff, you also think of like Ratatouille and Mickey's and Minnie's Runaway Railway, but it works so well in this sense because of like how smooth everything is. But it's also, the ride is bigger than you think it is. Like from the outside of what you think the line is, like this ride is insanely large. It's epic on scale. It's also one of those I mentioned earlier about like rides breaking down. So like if you were fortunate to even be able to go on the ride and for things to work perfectly, it is just so mind-blowing. And it's just, that is the future of Disney rides. The just wow, it's just
like
pure artistry.
Walking into
like,
the room for the first time, where you walk in and like facing you is just like a whole army of stormtroopers. Like, that's a moment. That's a moment right there.
It is. It's so, there's just so many things. And just, I can't talk about it anymore because I just don't want to spoil it for those who have never been on it. But it's just, it's totally worth it. If you get to that park to that day, run straight back there and get on Rise of the Resistance first thing.
And it really is straight back there. It's like the farthest point you can go from the entrance. What a bunch of jerks, and there's no, it's like, it's not a straight line, but it's like, it is. There's no shortcuts. But make your way back there.
Yeah. Be ready for that. Either do it first thing in the morning or do it towards the end of the night where not many people are back there. But yes.
And then go get some blue milk.
Yes. Yeah. Blue or green.
Or green.
Yeah.
We got both.
Yes, we did too. I think I like the blue one the best, and I think Amy liked the green one. I'm trying to remember.
I think it was the same with us. I had the blue and Brandon had the green.
But
fantastic.
No, that whole area is fantastic too. And yeah,
Just the Star Wars area.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But beautiful. So I guess we should move on from Disney World.
So. Well, but we're moving on to good things. We're moving on to to Disney villains.
Dun, dun, dun.
Our top 5 Disney villains.
Yes. So I'm curious, how did you put your list together? What did you look for when you were thinking of top villains?
I thought about just the villains. Like, what villains would I like to hang out with?
Oh, okay.
You know, like, not who was the best villain, who had the best songs, who, like, maybe there were villains who, like, met their goals. It's just people I was like, that they're fun people. They're, like, people I would like to hang out with. But most of those people, yes. The first one, no.
Okay.
Because he was such a good villain, even though he wasn't even a villain in all of the movies. But he was, like, the main villain. And that's Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's a villain that, like, you eventually, like, you feared him, but then you come to understand, like, how he is.
Mm-hmm.
And then you continue, like, you're still afraid of him. He's still a villain. Like, he's still doing bad things. But you come to, like, know him a little bit better. It's his story with, like, Tia Dalma and everything else just, like, makes you feel. It just makes you feel. Mm-hmm.
That's fair. Yeah. I'd say, like, my number 5, I'll go with, is Maleficent. When I think of an iconic Disney villain, I think of Maleficent first off. Turn into a freaking dragon, being, like, purely evil, being, like, just an iconic, like, character that is for a Disney film.
Just evil because she is.
Yeah.
No personal reasons, man.
Yeah. The rest of my list, I will say, is actually pretty serious on, like, hard-hitting, truthing, like, these people are purely evil, and this is why they make my list. So so that's a little tease for mine, but that's my
so we have different lists then, really.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, very nice. Okay, well. Yeah. Okay, number 4. Okay. Number 4 for me is Yzma from The Emperor's New Groove. Mm-hmm. Because Eartha Kitt is amazing. And she made such a good villain. She's awful. She's absolutely awful. She's the worst.
Yeah. But
she's stylish. She's sassy. Like, she can do no wrong. You know, she's just like, she does what she wants to do because she wants to do it. Like, that movie just makes me smile.
Pull the lever.
All the time. Pull the lever.
Yes. Okay. Well, now we're going to go for a lot darker, depressing route with me. So we're switching to me. So also, spoiler alert, if you've never seen any of these movies, like, we're covering straight spoilers that happen in these movies. I'm talking about my villains. So I'm talking about Ernesto de la Cruz from Coco.
Oh.
Dude's just bad. Like, he's petty as heck.
Yeah, seriously.
Jealous that he literally just murders a dude because he was like, I want the music and I don't want you involved in this.
Absolutely awful.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And what a good twist, too.
Yeah.
What a good twist to that movie.
Mm-hmm. He's just nasty. So, that's my number 4.
My number 3 is Hades.
Classic
villain.
Excellent.
Like, I don't think I have to explain a whole lot there.
No.
He's so cool until he's not. Like,
yeah.
He's just a fun villain. James Woods just really lent it, and he really made the character. Yeah.
Okay. My number 3, I never thought I would hate an inanimate object so much in my life. This bear. This strawberry freaking bear. Lotso. From Toy Story 3.
What a good one. He's like, a monster.
Purely a monster. And, like, you think you're going to get some redemption arc with him or something because you hear about his backstory, which, by the way, just because people have traumatic backstories does not excuse them for being terrible to other people.
Absolutely not.
And, dude,
he wasn't here for redemption.
Nope.
He was not
He was out here for burnt plastic and whatnot in the end.
Oh, my God. He almost traumatized an entire generation of people.
Yes. Yeah. So, every time I see that bear, I'm just like, yep. That's
I feel like similarly to the guy from the second movie, like they're like Pete? Buccaneer Pete.
Yeah.
Like he was. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Like in a way, he wanted to keep them all like wrapped up in boxes and. Yeah. You know, and that I have similar feelings about Pete, where he was just like, dude, no. Yeah. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah. It was intense. And then you get Lotso and you're just like, okay.
And then you get Lotso.
Toy Story with these villains.
Like, same direction, but like 10 miles down the road. Like, whoa. Yeah. We didn't need that, man.
Yeah. No.
Oh. Okay, so this is number
2.
2. Okay,
Yeah.
my number 2 is Maleficent.
Oh, she's
'Cause
not
she
your
is
number
it.
1. Oh,
No,
but yep.
she is it. She is the
Mm-hmm.
moment.
Yep.
She is the queen of hell, and she's there to deliver. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yes. Live action and animated version. That is for
Take
sure.
your pick. Doesn't matter.
Yep.
They all win.
Okay, my number 2. So
Yes.
we're just getting worse and worse here. My number 2 is Shan Yu from Mulan.
Ugh.
War crimes galore.
Seriously.
Let's talk about that. We're having like a girl worth fighting for song moment going on, and then we get to just a burning freaking village. You just see like
Everybody's
people
dead.
everywhere. The soldiers dead. Then you see that doll,
And
which is
the
that doll that he had
breaks
played with
you.
earlier.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And you're just like, oh gosh. No, it's awful.
Also, no redemption.
Nope.
Not there for that. Absolutely not.
Nope. Mm-mm.
You get beat by a girl. So.
Heck yes. Outsmarted for sure.
Okay, number 1. My number 1 is Jafar.
Oh, okay.
He's so like growing up watching Aladdin like every day. Jafar, he's so like always like calm, cool, collected. Like he has this grand title. He's got his scepter and he's got his chin held so high in the air, you know?
Yeah.
But he is just like such a piece of crap. It's like you think you're so high and mighty up there, but like you're not.
Sassy. Ooh, yeah.
You're not. You got bested by Aladdin.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Trapped forever. But
Until
also like
yeah.
he's fun. Like he's just so sassy and like
yeah.
Like and like if you haven't seen like creepy
steak. Yeah.
If you haven't seen Aladdin on Broadway,
Mm.
like Jafar, he's even better of a character in the Broadway production.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Okay, my number 1 I think is going to cause people to come after me. We're just going to start out vaguely with the terms familial pressure and intergenerational trauma.
Immediately, you're right. You're right though.
Abuela, Alma, and Encanto.
Absolutely.
It's too real. Like,
Yeah.
the stuff that happens in that movie, like,
Yeah.
people who have ever dealt with that or have family members and can see them reflected in
Mm-hmm.
Abuela as well as themselves and the other characters, like, ooh, like,
Yeah.
it does a really good job of portraying the effects on everybody in the family.
And not like downright like when it gets to that point of the movie, which is so late in the movie, right? Because you're trying to bury the lead. You don't want people sitting there thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
But once they hit that point, though, they're not like attacking Abuela about it, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like you're the worst. We never want to see you again. How could you do this? You know, it's not like that. It's Mirabelle's just like you've hurt us all intentionally with how you've demanded so much with your expectations and things like that. And then she strives to change.
Yeah.
But she is absolutely the villain of the movie.
Yeah, and I think everybody in general wants to see a change like that in people they know and stuff who are abuela to them. Like, they want to see how that ending is and stuff. But unfortunately, a lot of times it's not always that happy
simple.
ending. No, it's not that simple.
Because Abuela was very nice, and she said, I see what you're saying. Let's see what we can do together, you know?
Yeah.
And people aren't always like that.
Yeah, but it just so captures, like, with just in general the familial pressure, and everybody just doesn't want to talk about their issues, but everybody has all these issues going on, and like you just see like the subtlety of the way Abuela handles Mirabelle, because Mirabelle is not special, and just all the side comments she makes,
which is just
quick
the worst
to blame
part of
her
it.
for everything.
Everything.
And Abuela knew what was going on when she's like, I don't know what you're talking about, that candle. You just want this to be all about you, Mirabelle. And she's like, oops, sorry, I totally did, like, you know, talking to herself about it, and just like, dang, like these little jabs, these subtleties, like they are so real for so many people. Like, it just, oh man, it's just, she's just represents like the worst of the worst of just stuff that's just like, ooh, this hits so hard. It's just,
of like real life problems. Problems. She's a real life villain. Yeah.
And just, it's a movie, just, I got so emotional during, like, you just really feel like for all the other characters and just like stuff that's going on, and like you do feel stuff with her too, like with how she changes, but like, yeah, like I said, man, just too real. That's why it has to be number 1 villain for me, because it's just like, okay,
Absolutely understand.
Woo.
Yeah.
Okay. Whew. Yeah. Okay, that was heavy.
You good? That's okay.
Yeah,
That's okay.
So. Yeah.
Well, let's move on to our next category, which we've had soundtracks before. But now we're talking about songs.
Yes.
Individual songs.
Mm-hmm.
And this was hard. And again, like, I'll say my list today, and tomorrow it'll probably change. And the next day it'll probably revert back. And the next day will be 5 brand new songs. It's hard.
Yes.
There's so many that I've left off, but could easily replace any of them. So we'll just see what happens. So
yeah,
my number 5, Just Around the River Bend, from Pocahontas.
It's showing that Pocahontas love again.
Oh God, it just, from the movie's perspective, it's an I want song. It helps explain who Pocahontas is, and it helps explains her feelings, what she wants, or what she doesn't know she wants, And it's such a good song anyway. Like, it's such an emotional song without, like, intending to be, in a way.
There's so much meaning in those songs in Pocahontas. Like,
especially in Pocahontas, there's a lot. Like, you can unpack those songs for days.
Yes, that is for sure.
Absolute days.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to be annoying. I'm just going to give lyrics from the movie. And then I'll say what the song is. Or the song. Tranquil as a forest, but on fire within. I'll make a man out of you.
As a forest. Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
I'll make a man out of you. I mean, honestly, that's like the ultimate hype song. It's
it
like
really is.
Not quite a party song, but like it's the one where like you could listen to anytime in the car, cleaning up, working out. Like it's just
get that energy pumping.
Yeah, so it's just a good energy pumping song, but also just so great in the movie that you can just cheer on all of our characters like succeeding in their training. Like,
Well, then you get to hear the song come back later on in like successful moments between the rest of the cast, like in the palace and stuff. It's instrumental. You don't hear like lyrics or anything, but it pops up again. Like, you hear it several times.
So cool.
Now, my number 4 is interesting because it's not from like a main movie, but there's stuff that's happened with it since then. So my song is from Kingdom Hearts 2. Is from Lion King 2.
Okay.
He Lives in You.
Yes.
And that song was so powerful in so many different ways that when they added it to the Broadway version of Lion King 1, like retroactively, they went back and added it to that musical. And Mufasa sings it to Simba in like near the beginning, like when they're out in the valley, like at night, looking at the stars and stuff. That's Mufasa's song to Simba to help explain like his responsibilities and stuff. But then it comes back. I think it's like the finale too. They bring it back for the finale of the show, and like we went to watch it, and like just goosebumps. Like in how they did the song, just crazy. But also like even not even counting that, just from Lion King 2, it is just such a good song. Like I don't remember any other songs from that movie, but I always remember that one.
Yeah, it's a good one. Well, previously your song mentioning Pocahontas, my number 4 is Colors of the Wind.
Colors of the Wind. That's another one. Yeah.
Those lyrics, like, it's just like, it registers more even as I've gotten older. Like, when you really, like, these lyrics, you think the only people who are the people who look and think like you. But if you walk the footsteps of a stranger, you'll learn things you never knew. Like, come on, guys. It's just...
Oh God, it's so beautiful. It's just...
And also the animation itself, like, pure artistry in that song. They went all out in that part of the movie. Like, the whole movie is beautiful in general, but like everything
during
in that
those song segments though, you see like what they're doing with colors and shadows and things moving across. Oh my gosh, just everything.
Yeah. But it's just such a powerful song that just like it's all about respecting nature, respecting each other. Like there's more to the world than just what you're living, your little bubble. Like there's more out there.
Now if only the story of Pocahontas actually went that way. Yeah. But hey, here we are.
Yeah. But the music, man. The music. The art, that's where it's at.
Okay, where are we at? Number 3?
Yes.
I went with You'll Be in My Heart for number 3.
Excellent.
Just from those first words. Come stop your crying, it'll be all right. Just
emotionally hits.
Oh, God. Like, so you get to the chorus and the key changes and you just like, nope, that's it. I'm done.
My number 3. It's
Yes.
from a movie that I feel like does not get enough love. It is from The Princess and the Frog, and that would be Almost There.
Almost There. It's probably the best song in that movie.
Oh my gosh, it is. And it's so real because, like, Tiana is just such a real, like, character of just, like, your everyday woman working hard.
She's
like,
so different than the other Disney princesses, and it's just like, thank God. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And that scene itself is beautiful. The way it changes the art style.
Oh, yeah,
like,
the styling and stuff like that.
Yeah, like,
oh my
it's
gosh.
so neat. But even those lyrics are great. Like, the part about... let's see, I'm gonna use the I remember Daddy told me fairy tales can come true. You gotta make them happen. It all depends on you. Like, this girl's all about, like, yeah.
She was like Anna
hard.
and Elsa before Anna and Elsa were there.
Yes.
Like, absolutely.
Yes. So, and just, like, the vibe of the music, it's refreshing. It's something a little different than, like, not that there's anything wrong with any other classic movies, but, like, the whole style of, like, jazz and everything.
It's
just
a
the
refreshing
whole, like,
change of pace.
Yeah. It's just...
like, man.
It's good stuff.
It is. Speaking of good stuff.
Yes.
Number two, I went with I Won't Say from Hercules.
Ooh.
Meg gets
man.
one gosh dang song, and it's this song. It's the big one.
epic.
It's like, oh God. Just, the whole Hercules, like, whoever decided that, like, we're gonna tell the story of Hercules. In a slightly more positive way. But we're not, like, yeah, it's going to be a musical, but we're not going to go, like, Broadway with it. We're not doing that. We're going gospel. We're going gospel and soul.
Like, Go the Distance, though, is so good, too. Yeah. But Meg's song.
Yeah. Meg's song, it just makes me so happy. Like, I could watch this, I can see the scene happening, like, as I'm listening to the song. There's just so many good things about that song.
Yep. Well, another cool female song that's reflective would be Reflection.
Reflection.
Yeah.
That's such a perfect song. Like, I hate that it happened so early in Mulan, and it's really not that long of a song. Even, like, it's not there for very long.
No, but it's so beautiful. It's just, really speaking to those feelings about, wanting to stop pretending to be who she is not, but doesn't want to disappoint her family. Like, it also just speaks to people in general, too. Like,
anybody can find a place within the song that they belong to,
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
but
and it's funny we're talking about this because that's how I am with my number one, where it's everybody. Everybody applies to this song. For number one, I chose "Show Yourself."
I figured that was going to be your number one.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
It really is, and it's for everybody. It's a song about everybody and our own fears, our own resiliences, everything that we want to be and don't want to be, and who you are. Like,
we've already talked about how emotional it is within the movie itself, and like all the feelings it brings. Like, yeah, it's
like, because people always say that Into the Unknown is like Frozen 2's Let It Go. It is not. It absolutely. Into the Unknown is great. I'll belt that song all dang day. But Show Yourself, that's the Let It Go of Frozen 2.
Yeah.
And again, I love Show Yourself way more than Let It Go. I like Let It Go, but I love Show Yourself. And I don't know how you're gonna top that
it
for Frozen 3.
Yeah. I don't know. But I just imagine the music's going to be fantastic no matter what.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah. Well, my number one is also a Frozen song, but I went with the one that came before, the one that has stuck with me all these years, and that is Let It Go.
Let It Go.
I mean,
the Kingdom Hearts version, I assume.
Of course, obviously. Oh, no, the OG movie, Frozen 1, Let It Go. I mean, it's in a sense, it's the song that's defined a generation. It's defined a generation within Disney itself. It is a song that so many people find so much relatability into. Like I said, it's the one that came before. It's the one that stuck with me. When I saw Frozen for the first time in theaters, like, I was not expecting much for this movie. Like, this movie, I was like, they were doing the free tickets with the canned food drive thing. So I went during that time when you got the free tickets for donating. Yeah. So I was like, oh, let's go see Frozen because that's a new Disney movie out, I guess. I don't know what it's about. And just the opening of that song, like the way it is in the movie, it just like got to me so hard in that movie. Like, it's just... and I think it's just because
like the piano and like you start up here on the mountain and it's just kind
yeah.
of like going to find Elsa, right? Like
yeah. And you just even get like the chills itself, like feeling like you're almost out in the snow, like feeling that, and then just feeling her singing this song, and just a powerful song. And like, it's Idina Menzel, people. Like, of course she's gonna have freaking amazing songs, like belting those out. But like, it also really hit me in a time too, which I know this rates to a lot of people from so many different ways, but also within the LGBTQ community. And this was like a song that was so personal because it was me figuring out my sexuality literally during this time. So this is a song that like spoke so hard to me and was just...
Isn't Elsa like just so good with helping people with their problems?
Yes.
Their song.
Yes. Through all of her songs, she's helping herself.
Mine.
Yeah.
You know, Show Yourself was mine. Although like that didn't come at the beginning of anything for me. It was just it attached to self to those experiences and those emotions that I had. And just did not let go. Like I said, I sat there in that theater and I just like bawled like halfway through that song because it was just like it was just hitting. It was vibrating through those situations for me. It's crazy.
Yeah. So yes, thank you, Elsa, I guess, and everybody that worked on Frozen for giving us these songs that really just speak to us and help us get through things. So,
absolutely. Yeah.
Disney,
Still
man.
helping.
Yeah.
Show Yourself is one of my go-to karaoke songs. It's a tough one to sing, but I do love singing it.
Major props, yeah. I sing Let It Go in the car. I know I am a terrible singer, and people just gonna have to deal with it when I'm in the car.
We should have sang it together at the wedding. We should have done it.
Oh man.
Next time, next wedding.
Next somebody else's, not ours.
Somebody else's.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I can't believe I left so many songs off that. Like Friend Like Me from Aladdin is like again. Oh my god, I just can't.
Well, I mean, yeah, we already covered like that, like soundtracks themselves. So clearly we like love so many songs. It's just hard to just narrow it down to just our top 5. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
But on to our second to last category.
Yep.
This one being main characters. And at first I think when we were like Disney princesses, like nope. Main characters, because not everybody's a Disney princess. So
yeah.
So here we go. Now, okay, so this is Disney main characters. Chelsea's gonna roll her eyes at me, and that's fine. It's okay. But for my first
my eyes are ready. No.
my number 5, I put Donald Duck.
Oh, okay. Dreamlight Valley Donald Duck?
No. Any other Donald Duck except for Dreamlight Valley Donald Duck. Which is hilarious because we had the same exact conversation, like creating the list.
Oh.
Like
I just feel bad for him in Dreamlight Valley, though. He just needs professional help. That's all.
That or he needs Stitch to leave him alone, whichever comes first.
But that's his best friend.
Well, one of them is not each other's best friend, but hey.
Anyway, but yes, Donald Duck. Do you have any other reasons?
No, I mean, I don't have any affinity with Donald. Like, I don't have an anger problem. I have the opposite of an anger problem.
I wasn't. I was just kidding.
I know. But I don't have any like good explanation. I just Donald always makes me laugh. Like, he just makes me laugh in whatever he's in. I love Donald.
Nice. Okay. I will say my list does kind of, funnily enough, follow kind of my Disney Princess list that we did in our Disney Princess episode way back. Because I still feel like, in general, I really do like all these, like, so-called princesses as main characters. So my number 5 is Elsa. I mean...
Number 5. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. She's a little further back, though, because technically, like, she's, like, kind of a main character in the Frozen movies, but I feel like she never gets quite enough. Like, we see the development through the songs and stuff, but, like, we do get more Anna. I just don't relate as much to Anna as I do to Elsa, so...
Oh, for sure. Same.
Yeah. But, I mean, still a great character. But for me, so number 5 is Elsa. There's a couple more people I think are way more developed and are kind of cooler, even though Elsa is... Elsa made the list, so...
Yep, still important.
Yep.
My number 4 is Stitch. Because he's a cutie and I love Stitch.
Oh my gosh. Little troublemaker.
I had to stop myself from buying like 5 Stitch plushies while we were there. I didn't buy any of them. But I had to stop myself. I did get to meet Stitch though.
Aw.
I did get to take a picture with Stitch.
Yeah.
So.
Love that.
of him, not with him. He was
Oh.
on the way. He was
Oh,
heading
okay,
out.
just pass.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun though.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 4. This is I think she's a bit more well-rounded of a character than Elsa. No offense to Elsa. She's fearless, confident, adventurous, bit selfless. I would say that is How Far Will She Go? That is Moana.
Okay, that's not who I thought you were going to say.
I have more people. Yeah. Nope. Sorry.
I thought you were going somewhere else.
Okay. Well, maybe my other ones will be somewhere else where you think I was going, but no, Moana.
I mean, I'd be surprised if you said this character.
Oh, okay.
But we'll see.
Okay. Is that character on your list that you're thinking of, or just
no?
Okay.
No, ma'am. But my number three is Mirabelle. Because she has so much to deal with, like in a family that doesn't have a place for her, but she tries to do so much for everybody else at the same time.
She just
try to
has
make
such a good heart through it all. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like, she's still doing the best, being the best, doing the best that she knows how to do, even though she knows that, like, within this, like, hierarchy that her grandma has created, she doesn't fit.
Yeah.
She's not important. She doesn't have a place, a job, a necessity. There's nothing for her. Literally treated like a child that just gets in the way.
But hey, the whole family should be happy she didn't have any powers because she was the one who wasn't blind to everything going on. And so she is the true superhero of the family. So
true that.
Okay. My number 3 is Tiana.
Tiana! That's a good choice.
Yeah. I've already talked about her songs, you know, such more of a real grounded human being, but also a princess, or later becomes a princess, you know, just she's not all waiting for somebody to come rescue her. She has her plans. She's working to execute them. Yeah. She just happens to find love along the way. Yeah, so,
right. And she's strong and she's independent, but she's still kind. You know, like she still has all these pleasant qualities. She's not selfish. She's in it for herself, but she's not selfish at all.
Nope. Yeah.
She has a dream. She wants to reach the dream. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, my number two is Elsa.
Okay.
Yep.
Excellent. Nothing else to say?
Nope, that's it. We've covered Elsa a lot, so I think we're good.
Yeah. Okay. My number 2 is Mulan. I cannot go wrong with her. Always loved her as a character. I mean, a kick-butt female warrior.
About time.
Person. Yes. Like.
At this stage.
So freaking cool, but also just like, I mean, she's also non-conventional. She's just like, she had a good, like, her reason was she wanted to protect her father. Like, come on. Like, and she literally goes to war. Like,
knowing that basically, like, once she left to go to war, she just wouldn't be coming back.
Yeah.
She'd either be
a multitude of reasons.
Killed in the war, she'd be found out and killed. Like, it's very simple, you know?
Yeah.
Well, Mulan is my number 1.
Okay. So. Yes.
So there we go.
Awesome. My number 1 is, you couldn't have the Walt Disney Company without this character.
I almost went OG. There.
Oswald. No, sorry. Oh. Get out of here. I'm talking about Mickey Mouse.
I was so close to putting Mickey first, and I was like,
yeah.
And I was like, maybe that's too, like, duh. So then I took Mickey out and I put Donald in. That's what I did. That was my compromise to myself.
I see. Yeah. No, I just
Mickey.
Yeah, just tried and true. I've always loved Mickey Mouse, and like I feel like kind of Mickey Mouse.
Maybe not Kingdom Hearts Mickey.
Well, he's wearing that black hood and ready to take him off with his.
Well, he's kind of. I'll never forgive him for what he did to Aqua. So neglectful jerk.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But anyway, please continue.
Besides that, I mean, you have epic Sorcerer Mickey as a Sorcerer's Apprentice, Magic Village, like, I don't know, just the classic Mickey in cartoons. It's just, he's the OG. I love him. Always been a fan. It's just, I can't.
Always and forever. Okay. Oh my gosh. We've reached the point.
Yes.
We've reached the point where we are talking about our final category: Disney animated movies. The big one.
This was hard.
This was hard. And number 5, I'm gonna talk about a movie that we haven't brought up at all.
Ooh, okay.
Number 5 is Aristocats.
Oh, okay.
I used to watch the Aristocats when I was little over and over again. I couldn't tell you why. It could be the music. It could be the characters. It could just be that simple old school Disney art style, that it shared with so many other movies at the time. I don't know, but I just loved it and always will.
It's one of those, yeah, really, that's what you think of, like, yeah, definitely one of those classic older movies.
It's
for sure.
there with like Oliver and Company with me. Like, you know, it's there on the side of Disney movies you just don't think about, but are like up there with everything else. They just don't get the attention.
Oh. My number 5 is one we've talked about a couple times. I've also talked about it being underrated. That would be The Princess and the Frog.
Nice.
Yes. I mean, everything, like, it was not the last technically 2D hand-drawn movie that was made by Disney, but it was one that there had been a long gap, and so they went back, and then they went back to hand-drawn, and it's so beautifully done. I love all the characters. Like,
they're so good.
They're all so good. They're all, like, really well-rounded. You really root, and you're surprised by, like, the depth of even, like, Lottie.
I love Lottie. I love Lottie so much.
Oh my gosh. Like, yeah. And then you have a dark and creepy Dr. Facilier. Like, you get this really intense villain, like the voodoo and stuff, like, gets creepy. You get, you know, Prince Naveen is nice. We have, oh no, what's the crocodile's name? It's, I almost said Roy.
Louis?
But that's not his name. Louis, yes.
Louis.
Yeah.
Because he's like the, you know, the trumpet player.
Yeah. But still, like, this whole setting, the vibe, the music in general, all the music, not even just the songs we've already talked about, but it's just all around, it's an underrated movie that I still feel like not many people have seen. Guys, it's on Disney Plus. Watch it, appreciate it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, if you've never seen it, like, just watch it once. Like, you are missing out. You're missing out.
Like, you don't have to waste 2.5 hours on the movie, guys. Like,
Good Lord.
It's an anime. Yeah, no.
Okay, number 4. I went with Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is a good one.
Yeah, just for reasons we've talked about. It's just the art style, the colors, the darkness of it, you know. Like, as a kid, this is weird. I would watch it. This was a movie I would love, and then I'd be afraid of it at the same time. Like, it would scare me. But I knew, like, hold on, like, it gets better. But it would, until, like, late childhood, you know, it's still, there were scenes that I thought were scary. Like The Great Mouse Detective.
Ooh,
Terrified of that movie. I'd watch it so much, but I was scared of that movie. Ratigan, the main villain, oh my god, he's terrifying. An awful person, but just, like, the end, especially when he just, like, goes feral.
Oh gosh, yeah, that is pretty creepy.
Man. Oh my god. Well, like the robot mouse queen girl, you know, like.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Terrifying.
Totally
terrifying.
That. Wow.
Like, how did Disney make that movie? It scared me half to death. But anyway, yeah, Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah. For the Great Mouth. Yeah. Okay, my number 4 is Wreck-It Ralph.
Yes. Absolutely.
I mean, such a surprise movie that you thought was just going to be a bunch of gimmicks about, like, haha, here's a video game reference. But, man, that movie has heart. Like, Ralph, such a great character. We have Vanellope. We have the twists and turns in this movie. I love Vanellope. We also have the introduction of who had some input on the writing in this movie, Jennifer Lee, who we will talk about pretty soon again with another movie, but yep, I love it. Love all of its references. It's a feel-good movie. I almost said everything's awesome. I'm like, nope, Lego Movie's in my head right now.
Yeah, that's a different thing. Yeah, it's a whole different thing.
But all the music, just actually even that soundtrack is pretty spectacular. Wreck-It Ralph, like, just really capturing that retro, like, video game vibe. It's so true.
And then, like, Ralph breaks the internet. It's just like, it's Wreck-It Ralph just, like, exploded. Like, just everywhere.
The princess part is the best part of that movie.
Oh my god, the princess part's amazing.
Yes.
Okay, number 3. Everything hurts at this point. Like, I have to make decisions here. Number 3 is Frozen 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And we've talked a lot about Frozen 2, so we'll just pass it over to Chelsea.
Just move on. Okay. Well, my number 3 is Frozen, the first one.
Okay. Alrighty, then there we go.
And we've already talked a lot about that, so we can move on.
Okay. My number 2, and again, life is difficult here. My number 2 is Mulan.
So is mine.
Oh my god, okay. Okay,
yes.
I'm sure our number 1s will be different. I'm sure they will.
Yeah. But we've talked a lot about Mulan. Yeah. Fantastic.
My number 1 is Aladdin.
Okay. I was wondering the way you talked about Aladdin earlier. Okay.
And it's just like, I can't tell you one reason why it's my favorite. I'm told that it was the first movie I was ever taken to go watch in a theater, but I would have been like 2. The first movie I can remember going to watch is The Lion King. But I am told over and over again that Aladdin was the first movie that I actually got to go see. The characters, the music, like the lessons that you learn from it, like it's everything it just fits. And maybe there's some Robin Williams nostalgia in there. I mean, it's hard to say.
Classic.
But Jasmine also, like for a Disney princess, Jasmine is also one of those like no nonsense, I ain't taking stuff from anybody. Although she is a little helpless at times, but like the attitude is there.
People are human, so you know.
Yeah, and because literally she doesn't have any way to fight back. She's just she'll tell you no until she has to be forced. But you know, But yeah, okay. I'm real curious here.
Well, my number 1 is actually one you've already mentioned, and that is Beauty and the Beast.
Okay. All right. I dig it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, that's why I didn't talk too much. No, that movie is just, it's a movie that still like kind of takes my breath away when I watch it. Just for, like the artistry of it. And it's also a movie that I was really excited during the gimmicky years when they re-released some of the movies with the quote 3D. So I saw this one in theaters with the 3D and I was just like, this is so beautiful. I'm just loving watching it.
I don't think I got to watch any of those like re-released movies. I don't think I did. I think I watched The Nightmare Before Christmas. And maybe the original Toy Story. But no, I didn't get a chance to do that. That's so cool.
Yeah. Well, it was almost just like watching it for the first time. It was just so cool because, I had been like, I wasn't even born yet when the movie was released. So I saw it later. And it just like, it just like was 80, so cool. See,
87, 88?
It was 91.
Well, it was 91. Oh, okay. Because I know like Little Mermaid was like 89. It's like right before I was born.
Yeah. So with, like Beauty and the Beast, it was just so exciting to see it in the theater, like almost for the first time, it felt like, because I was just like, I wasn't born when it came out. So it's just like so cool, but also just like the music, like it's the art, like the ballroom scene. Like, how could you not? It's simply iconic.
With the ceiling, like that was like pushed at the time. I remember like revolutionary and everything else.
Yeah, because it's that mix of the 2D with 3D in the movie itself with some of those scenes, but also just like, I know this was a movie as a child growing up that I was like obsessed with. Like I had a Belle dress. It wasn't like looked like Belle's dress, but it had like Belle on it and it was like a pink dress. I wore that dress like all the time. I think my mom said like I would wear it like multiple days in a row. Like I would refuse to take it off because I loved it so much. And so I've also loved seeing like the show we talked about at Disney World at Hollywood Studios. Like that show is just so epic. Like the music, I was obsessed with like the Gaston song as a child, just like saying all the lines.
And now he's
like,
your favorite character in Dreamlight Valley.
As much my favorite is as Mother Gothel, guys. Oh
absolutely. So 110%.
Oh gosh, no. But no, when I think of iconic Disney movies, I can't not think about Beauty and the Beast. And for me, it's just like...
It's like so quintessential.
Yeah.
Like Beauty and the Beast is.
That one for me is like the must watch if you've never seen a Disney movie. Is like Beauty and the Beast has to be on your list.
We did it. 100.
Yes, we did.
100 tops. 100 top Disneys.
And some bonuses.
And some bonuses. That's crazy.
Yep. What an epic two-parter, listeners. We hope you enjoyed our deep dive into Disney. This is clearly not our only Disney episodes. We're clearly going to cover more. We already talked about we're going to do more Dreamlight Valley because how could we not? We're obsessed with that game and there's so many new updates coming out. So be ready for more Disney as well as not Disney things. Like our next episode is going to be our special 100th official episode. And so we want to hear from you guys. Send us your questions. We're doing an AMA, so
ask us all the things you can think of.
Yes, for real. So send us your questions. You can do that on our socials. We have posts up for that. Send it in a DM. You can also email us. So on our socials, we're at poddemastered, and our email is demasteredpodcast@gmail.com. Also, let us know, what are some of your Disney favorites? What have been your childhood classic films, your favorite characters, the songs we forgot to talk about? Like, there is so much. And
tell us how wrong we were.
Yes.
Tell us all the things that we should have talked about that we didn't, because we're gonna go to bed crying about it tonight, so regretting
there's
everything
always something
we
we forgot. No.
Oh yeah.
No regrets. Lots of love.
I didn't mention Fox and the Hound once.
That
Not
almost
once.
made my top 5. Yeah.
It was right there for me too.
It's
look.
It's iconic. Yeah. There's just so many movies. It's just, but we tortured ourselves with only doing top 5s. Like, we could have done top 20s, guys, but we would have we've been here for a whole
Disney
day.
top 400.
Yes. Woo!
We'd have been here for days recording this.
Yes. But thanks so much for sticking with us, guys, and our 2-parter celebrating the 100th anniversary of the Walt Disney Company. As always, thanks so much for listening to this episode, and we hope you tune in to the next one.
See ya.